Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I kind of just want to talk about Modern Warfare 2 because I didn't do like a beta review video when the game's multiplayer beta was out or anything, even though I sunk a pretty good amount of time into it. I got to max level and everything. I played my way through all the maps, all the modes, tried to use as many of the guns as possible, things like that. I know a lot of people wanted me to do a video reviewing the beta, and I honestly was going to. I just had so much other stuff on my plate at the time that it just kind of slipped my mind. But I didn't want to have that same opportunity given up for the campaign. If you guys didn't know, I'm a huge fan of Call of Duty campaigns. I'm one of those people that every year when the game drops, sure, I play multiplayer first and I have fun with my friends, but then they get offline eventually, right? And that's when I go into the campaign and I start playing the campaign and getting through the story mode of the game. Obviously, this Call of Duty was made by Infinity Ward. Primarily, they were the lead studio on this game, and I gotta say, I am a sucker for Infinity Ward's campaigns. Even in games that I didn't particularly care for with the multiplayer like Infinite Warfare, I absolutely adored that game's campaign. I liked Modern Warfare 2019's campaign. I thought it was pretty good, you know? So I had to play the new one, right? I had to play the new campaign for the new multiplayer game. Call of Duty's kind of transitioning now. The campaign used to be super important, but obviously now it's all about like Warzone and multiplayer. No one really cares about the campaign as much. But honestly, I think this is a very solid overall game. I'll talk more about the multiplayer, of course, when that launches, but in terms of the campaign, I think it's a very overall solid game, and I want to just kind of talk about the things I really liked during the campaign, the things I didn't necessarily care for as much, and just kind of talk about what about this campaign is just making it a good campaign for me. Now, I have beaten the campaign to this game. There will be no spoilers in this video. I'm not going to tell you guys anything that happens in the story. I'm just doing an objective, basically, review of a lot of the things that happened, like that I enjoyed that I didn't enjoy. So I'm not going to be sharing any of the story, any of the campaign with you guys, really. What I am going to be doing is more or less talking about different elements of the game. So, you know, the graphics, the gameplay, the map design, things like that, right? So first and foremost, this is the first campaign that I've really played all the way through since Black Ops Cold War. I didn't finish Vanguard's campaign. In my opinion, Vanguard is a bottom 3, if not bottom 1 Call of Duty all time. I just didn't like the game. I wasn't a huge fan of the campaign. I don't know if that's controversial or not. I just couldn't really get into it, if that makes any sense. Like, I tried my best, right? I played through like the first few missions of it and everything. I tried to give it a chance, but I couldn't really get enthralled into it, and that was definitely not a problem that I had with Modern Warfare 2's campaign. This is one of the most immersive Call of Duty campaigns that we've ever seen. I mean, the audio is fantastic. The gameplay is very suspenseful. There's a lot of moments throughout the gameplay that just like kind of spike your anxiety a little bit, and I really like when Call of Duty campaigns are like that. I feel like there's two distinct different versions of COD campaigns. Like, you have the ones that are essentially just Michael Bay films where pretty much anything goes, you know, like an explosion rings out 6 feet away from your face and, you know, you spend the next 7 minutes in a cutscene kind of thing. Then there's like the more layered detail Call of Duty campaigns where there's like, sure, a lot of high octane action, there's a lot of crazy scenes like that, but there's also a good amount of gameplay too. It's not just like a movie. That's what I really liked about this COD campaign. The dialogue options was a feature that I was a pretty big fan of. So like at different points throughout the game, it actually gives you like different options for dialogue during it, and it like affects the output of like what the other characters in the game say. I thought that was a really cool feature. I don't know if that was in Vanguard or not. I don't remember it. I didn't play a lot of Vanguard at the same time, so I don't know if that's like a common thing in COD franchise now, but this is the first time I remember it being done on this scale as much, and I pretty well enjoyed that. I thought that was a pretty cool little addition to the game. The missions are designed fantastically, in my opinion. I think that they're pretty goddamn solid. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of Call of Duty campaigns where it feels more like you're just kind of watching a movie, you know, you're just watching cutscenes. This game has like a lot of really good gameplay in it in terms of the campaign, and that immersiveness really kind of dragged me into the game. I actually live streamed a good amount of the campaign here on the channel, and there were so many points where like I was just so enthralled in the gameplay that I wasn't reading chat. You know, it really felt like I was actually in the fight, which not many video games really put you in a place like that. Like, it was just a combination, I think, of the gameplay. The gameplay is pretty solid in this campaign, and the graphics, which are pretty goddamn phenomenal. Like, that new Call of Duty engine looks really good. A lot of people were kind of critiquing it and criticizing it a lot. I really didn't see a whole lot to critique with the graphics. I mean, I also have a 3090 in my computer, so I don't know how it looks on other people's machines or like on console, but like I could run it on the highest settings pretty much no problem. So on those settings, I mean, the game looks looks fantastic. Like, the graphics are absolutely beautiful. The game is very immersive. The color palette was pretty pleasing for a COD game. I feel like the last few CODs have just been too bland, you know, too colorless. The gameplay itself is great. The firefights are very intense in this campaign. There's moments where, like, you'll have a line of enemies and they're taking, like, head glitches and cover, and you gotta, like, slow down and put more methodical shots on them like it's an actual, like, milsim, you know, like an actual combat kind of situation, I guess. Of course, there's the traditional run and gun moments in Call of Duty and stuff like that you can do too. I played through the campaign on Hardened, which was super difficult, by the way. This is definitely one of the more challenging Call of Duty campaigns, in my opinion, and that's not a bad thing at all. I think that that's a great thing for the campaign, because just playing through the campaign, rushing through it on recruit mode, to me, not necessarily fun. I like the immersion, I like the actual experience, and if you get shot like 2 or 3 times, man, or even once at close range, you're pretty much fucking dead in the Hardened mode of this game. It's pretty goddamn good when it comes down to that difficulty. I prefer in games like that in the campaign for there to be a little bit more of a challenge, and this game definitely provided that, man. The guns were nice, the guns felt really good, the gunplay, you know, felt pretty similar to multiplayer, of course, but it felt really good, which is huge for a first-person shooter. You know, the gunplay has to feel pretty smooth, pretty decent, you know. I really like the weapon selection in this game. I think that it's very good so far. Of course, we'll see the full selection when multiplayer comes out, but from what I saw in campaign, pretty good, not gonna lie. There's some moments in the campaign, like with the cutscenes and stuff like that. There's, of course, cutscenes. It's not dependent on them, but the cutscenes in this game are really good, and the game gives so many iconic throwbacks to the Modern Warfare franchise. Not only does Task Force 141 return, and then we got Shepard, he's back in the game, and it even does some throwbacks to, like, 2019 Faraz in the game. There's, like, you know, just a really solid set list in a way. You know, there's like a great list of characters. The lineup was really nice. So many moments in these missions throw back to iconic Modern Warfare missions and moments. I thought that was really nice to pay homage to the franchise in a more direct way. I thought that was really nice. And to be honest with you, I wasn't very disappointed with the story. I thought the story was pretty goddamn good. The writing was nice. Like I said, the cutscenes were good. They kept me engaged, you know. I feel like that's what they're there for, you know, like when you're not in the gameplay, you're looking at the cutscenes. It's supposed to keep you engaged. It's supposed to keep you into the story and everything. And that it did, man. The campaign's cutscenes, they looked great. They were written very well. The story pulled me in. I was very interested in it. In my opinion, this very well could age like fine wine and end up being one of the best Call of Duty campaigns of all time. I mean, it was cool fighting in multiple different places around the world and having those different theaters, and it wasn't like a traditional war setting, you know what I mean? It was like sometimes you're fighting the cartel and sometimes you're fighting terrorists and different things like that. I thought that was cool. Not one set enemy, you know what I mean? There's like actually multiple factions and stuff. There's a more detailed, more story-rich environment in this campaign. And I think for Call of Duty, this is going to set a new benchmark for campaigns in a way, because now I feel like this pushes Treyarch and Sledgehammer to kind of come with like some pretty grade A shit to try and compete with this, you know what I mean? Really good COD campaign, very solid. Even if it wasn't Call of Duty, I'd be really happy with this product, man. I mean, I would give this campaign an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, maybe that's a little high for some people, a little low for others. I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10 because it wasn't literally perfect, but there's also rumors that there might be campaign DLC this year. That's what I've been hearing online. I haven't seen any, like, you know, proven reports or anything on that, but if they do end up doing DLC to this campaign, I will be a day one player, man. I will be right on board with that. I would love that. That would actually be great. So Infinity Ward, if you're watching this video, man, do some campaign DLC, because this is a story that can be built off of, and I think they can do it in some pretty unique and awesome ways. So with that being said, I had to show a little love, man. This campaign is fire. If you haven't played it, you do have to pre-order the game digitally in order to get access to it. If this was like a standalone purchase, I would say it's worth it. If you're not a Call of Duty fan, I mean, that definitely wavers it a little bit, of course, but yeah, I thought it was very solid. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, reviewing the new COD campaign and signing out.